lot of my business DJing has been through word of mouth, through mutual friends, referrals, and whatnot. And up till now, running my company, I'd say 90%, 95% is all word of mouth referrals. So I don't openly advertise, and it's just, hey, my friend referred me to hit you up to DJ my wedding or my birthday.
Yeah.
And it's all been like that.
You are now listening to the Cheatcoders podcast with Nat, Raf, and Don.
Yo, check. Welcome to another episode of the Cheatcoders podcast. This is Raf, and this is episode number 65. I am here with my usual suspects of Don doing stuff.
What's doing?
And all the way from London town, the land of the grime, is Nathan Blazin. What's up? And today is a special day because we have a special guest. Because I'm going to call this guy the tallest Asian DJ that I know.
Asian
personally, and even probably the famous DJs as well. If you're an Asian person that goes to clubs, 90% of the time, you probably see him at like the DJ decks.
He's the Yao Ming.
He's the Yao Ming of the
DJs
right now.
Man. Yeah.
And this is the first time in a long time that I've actually had a conversation with this guy without him having a turntable right in front of him and me requesting a song. So, well, let's give it up one time for DJ Xcentrik.
What up?
Round of applause, guys.
Thanks, guys, for having me over.
Alright, man. Welcome. Don't be nervous, you know?
I'm nervous.
Another thing that I want to point out is that this guy has been supporting us through music, through our creative days, and even on our podcast days. We would like to say that he's a day one.
Day one.
Ever since. Like, I remember seeing your face all the time when on Mixcloud. It tells you who's been listening to your podcast, and then your face would be on nearly all the episodes.
Yeah, man.
So thanks for listening, man. Now you're a first-time guest, long-time listener.
Yeah, definitely. I remember listening to your pilot episode in the car.
Oh,
long time.
He knows the deep.
What's your
Was
honest
it the
opinion
pilot? The real pilot?
The
real pilot.
The car park one.
Yeah,
that's the one. That's
honest
the
opinion.
I keep
right now.
forgetting which one was the actual first.
I was
episode.
interested.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
That's perfect.
That's all that matters.
That's perfect.
You're not going to kick me out yet?
Nah. So before we get into your DJ world, I want to get into like the DJ etiquette of things, and what you find is what people should be the do's and don'ts of DJing.
Yeah.
In terms of you being a DJ as well as people being the person on the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
But first, we would like to break the ice, and usually we do that. To break the ice, to get whiskey, to drink alcohol, we need to break some ice. So, we do that by having the news. So the first article reads, alien metal brought to Earth on the meteor that wiped out dinosaurs could cure cancer. Mirror reports that this thing, known as Iridium, is the world's rarest element. Blasting it with a laser beam produces a poisonous form of oxygen that is deadly for tumor cells and harmless for healthy ones. Experiments shows that it penetrates the nucleus of cancer cells by latching onto the blood protein albumin. I'm going to say that. It could revolutionize treatment for the deadliest forms of the disease. So what's your thoughts on a thing that killed dinosaurs, sent by aliens from outer space? This metal that killed the dinosaurs could actually have a chance of curing cancer.
I mean, circle of life, right? Circle of life. The dinosaurs. I think Nat said it. That the dinosaurs had their time, and now it's our time. It's our time to shine.
Our time to die.
Our time to shine, man.
Okay.
Because we got the cure
Are we
for
being
cancer.
selfish as a race to prolong our stay? What if we're blocking another race that should rule the world in another 100 years?
What race would it be?
I don't know.
Like what species would it be?
It'd probably be Filipinos.
Taking over.
Probably pretty lit on every day.
Lich on every day.
It'd be like the Filipino Thanos. Everyone that's not Asian except for Shivi and Filipinos.
But then hang on. Indians are considered Asian in the scheme of things because it's part of Asia, right?
It is.
Okay, well, I'll say Asians. All right, cool.
Southeast Asian, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, just be
No,
just to be
you
technical.
know, Asians
Just
are
to be
Indian
technical.
here. Indians are Asian here in London, but Asians
Yeah.
are considered continental. I thought that was funny.
Is that what that?
What do you mean by continental? I don't know
know.
what it is. What's continental?
So if someone says they're Asian
So when-
here in London, they'll class that as Indian people. But if it's Chinese and stuff, you have to call them, they're continental. I don't know. Maybe they found it on
Okay.
noodles and they're like, oh, noodles, continental. It must be Chinese.
It is an
When-
Australian brand.
When they say having a continental breakfast at a hotel,
Oh,
is
yeah.
that a Chinese breakfast?
It
Yeah,
is
well,
a
maybe
Chinese style.
underneath all the
Wait, is
breakfast
it maybe it's not
Peking,
continental?
Peking duck.
Maybe it's Oriental. I can't remember.
I think it's Oriental.
I think it's
My bad. My bad.
I thought you were gonna drop some London knowledge.
Yeah.
Continental is Asian.
That-
It's like,
that
maybe it's
backfires.
Oriental.
That backfires.
And that makes a lot of sense.
I think it's Oriental, bro. Yeah, continental
All right,
Oriental.
everyone just erase the last 2 minutes of this conversation
Edit,
out of your brains.
It's another salmon movie.
Oh,
It's
no.
another salmon.
But anyways, do you think that aliens has been lasting longer than the human race that they before, like when dinosaurs existed, they existed?
The Aztecs, bro. The Aztecs.
Speak on it, Nathan. Speak
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
you are the alien expert.
You're the alien
I
expert.
wouldn't say I'm
man.
an
Roswell.
expert, but apparently all these like the Amazon pyramids and all that, they were all landing sites for the Aztec, and they had a civilization before us. And we used to live in harmony with them, but humans were actually just slaves. Eventually, they left and let us be, and let us sort of like tested us, like, hey, you guys, you know, they wanted to watch from afar as like a test subject how humans will evolve, and they live in a time outside of our time. Their time goes quick, so we're just like a quick science experiment when we've had years of like civilizations growing and expanding. And guess what? All of that was bullshit. I just made that up. Did you believe me?
That is crazy. I was full getting into that.
Yeah, man. Like,
I was
actually
gonna say-
getting into.
Man, I was gonna say like where, but that was masterfully done. That was really
Thanks.
good.
I just
So
wanted to give you some
what's your take
facts.
on
To
this,
make,
Ahmed?
I just wanted to give you some facts, though, before you move on to the
I
next
mean,
person.
yeah,
But,
you're here giving us the fake news. You're giving
I just
us
wanted,
like, you
I
know,
just wanted to say
Asians
that,
are
like,
called continentals over there in London.
Yeah.
Actually
let me
believe that.
let me make up.
was.
Let me make up for that. Let me make up for that shit. But basically, Iridium is derived, was named and derived from the Greek goddess Iris.
Eh.
No, Iridium came from
Shout outs
Iridium,
to,
which came
shout
from
outs to-
Urine.
man.
Oh man, this guy.
No,
I don't believe
this is-
anything
this-
you say, man.
No one's gonna
Wikipedia.
believe
This is
it.
Wik- no, this is
This is the
Wikipedia.
boy who cried wolf.
Fake news.
I was testing
Are
you
you
guys
you
just
like
to see if you
are
believe.
you like googling it right now, Nats?
No, that last fact was real. I just wanted to just like so people will believe me in future.
Amin, what's your take on this whole Iridium thing? Like, what do you reckon?
I don't know, man. Like,
Good or bad?
why was it just discovered now? Is someone there holding back of all this?
Oh,
What if this Iridium thing's the real life vibranium?
vibranium? Yeah.
Maybe this is something like
Wakanda.
Wakanda
Wait,
forever.
are you a
Are you a Marvel
fan?
head?
I don't watch movies or TV, so
Okay.
all these
He's
quotes.
so
Let's talk about it. No,
Captain
no.
America's shield's made of vibranium,
Uh,
and Black Panther's suit's made of that too. And it's the strongest metal in the
Ever.
Marvel universe. So this Iridium thing
What about in the
could
real
be
universe?
this real life world's vibranium.
Mm.
So we could make tanks that are bulletproof, like super bulletproof, that no other tank could destroy it. We could probably make suits and become superheroes,
hmm.
and we can cure cancer,
Like
which is
Iron
probably
Man.
below the list.
Iridium.
Yeah,
is-
just forgot about it. Oh, oh yeah, cure for cancer. Like,
That's strange.
too busy making movies and stuff. Like, dude,
Yeah, I think this is
I don't know,
something.
man.
This could be something that's hidden by the government.
they
But you-
say that, right?
But the article did say that it's a rare metal, so maybe they haven't been able to test it to cure cancer yet.
True.
Maybe they're like, hey, this is so rare. Maybe there's a cure for cancer in it.
You know they use them
Let's
for
try it out.
fountain pens as well. They use iridium.
I'm not even talking. I'm not talking to you.
No.
Nobody believes
You know
the
they
thing
made
you
for
say right
fountain
now.
I'm actually
I don't even
giving
know what
you
a
guys
fountain
facts.
pen is.
I mean,
I'm giving you guys
Fountain pen.
facts.
I mean,
I'm giving
you don't know what a
guys
fountain pen
facts,
is?
I don't
man.
know what a fountain pen.
Fountain pen is the
Fountain pen.
ballpoint
You don't know what a
pen.
freaking fountain pen is? The one that you have to load the ink in it and shit. Didn't you have a fountain pen class in primary school?
I had a fountain pen when I was younger.
What primary school did you go to? Having all these fancy.
I
pen
just had
classes?
I know, man. I didn't even have a
this
pen
is
license
I
when
grew
I
up
was
in the East.
when I
My
was.
parents used to call pens ballpoints, so I only know it as a ballpoint.
A ballpoint.
Fountain
Can you
pen
pick
is like
up the ballpoint?
like yeah, it's like a fancy ballpoint pen, right?
Okay,
It is,
so
and
it's
it's
a
full
fancy.
calligraphy.
It's
for
a
calligraphy.
Hurstville ballpoint, not Mount Druitt styles.
The cure for cancer is in fountain pens. If
That's
you didn't know.
That's it.
Just stab yourself
Okay.
today. Get a fountain pen, inject that shit.
Stab yourself today. That sounds like a mad friggin'
Stab yourself today.
With a fountain.
Anyway,
Iridium.
that's great.
Get
That's crazy.
Iridium
So-
cancer.
if you find that you have cancer one day, just stab yourself with a fountain pen.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Okay, let's move on to the next
Yeah,
article.
we spent too long. We spent
I'm
too
feeling
long
like
on
this
that one.
topic's dying.
Yeah,
So
we should
this
stab it with a
article
fountain pen.
reads: had a dream recently, and it might be your it might not be your worst nightmare. So this Daily Telegraph says dreaming about your own or loved one's death is more common over the New Year period than any other time. So it's likely you or someone you know has had one recently. While death dreams are scary, experts say they might not be your worst nightmare in terms of what they mean. The average person has up to 5 dreams a night, so it's no surprise that most of them end up in the abyss of your subconscious. But certain dreams, such as death, are hard to ignore and can leave you rattled, restless, and shaken upon wakening. But experts believe dreaming about death is likely a good thing despite the horrible feeling that it comes from seeing yourself or a loved one die while you sleep. Meaning of our dreams has been studied for years since Dr. Sigmund Freud stated that they were our subconscious telling us what wishes we wanted to fulfill in life.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Swiss psychoanalyst Carl Jung said dreams were the mind's way of communicating important things that a person may not be able to see consciously. So what are your thoughts on dreams in general? Do you think that dreams have meanings behind them, or do you believe in some other way of why dreams occur?
Almond, what do you think, man?
I think definitely I feel like before you sleep, whatever's on your mind, something relating to that kind of topic, you would end up having dreams about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have an example, but
like when you're surfing through Facebook, the last person you've seen before you sleep,
yeah,
when you were like Facebook stalking, say one of your best mates, and then you end up sleeping, the first person you probably see is that person's Facebook and that picture that you saw.
Actually, one example is like, how you get deep into this YouTube.
Yeah, the YouTube cycle.
Yeah, I end up seeing fights, just watching fights. I end up having a really violent dream that night. Like, I get into a fight with someone, or someone's got weapons or guns, and I'm like, what the hell? But then it just makes sense because that's your last.
Yeah, that's the last thing you saw before you went to bed.
And it just stays with you
stuck
and in your mind.
Yeah.
Even though you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of your dreams, or do they just fly out of your head when you wake up?
I think it's half. I try to there's good dreams when you wake up, but you're trying to go back to sleep to finish it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. When dreams are
finish it off. What kind of dreams is that,
No,
mate?
try to sleep again, man. That chick was hot. Nah.
I know you've been dreaming of that.
Damn it.
You get up in the nightmare, it's like, fuck.
Okay, it's a wet dream anyway. Damn it.
That's a fountain pen right there.
Oh, no.
Well, Don, what's your thoughts on dreams in general?
I think, I used to be interested in this when I was younger.
And we're back. We just had some technical difficulties. We realized that Nats is not really an audio technician, dude. So he stuffed up his microphone sound. And therefore, luckily, he was recording video. So the first half of this, probably the first 15 minutes, has been his audio through the video. And now...
And I sounded like this.
Now it sounds so good.
You know what it was? It really was the aliens trying to silence
I
Nats
told you
because
guys. I told you
he's
don't talk
dropping
about
knowledge,
aliens
man.
anymore.
No, if
you
they
guys
were trying to
always have
silence,
aliens.
if they were trying to silence Nats, they're trying to silence the person who was trying to silence us. So the aliens wanted the people to hear the people who were
They don't
actually
want
talking about the
I'm so
aliens.
confused right now.
Oh my god, it's so
Don't worry, if you
so
know,
woke.
you
We are
know,
so
man.
If you
woke.
know, you know.
If you know, you know. So let's move on to our dreams conversation.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, continue.
So I was talking
Don,
to
where were you?
Don and asking him about what's your thoughts on dreams in general?
So I used to be really interested in this when I was younger, and apparently, when you have a death dream, when something is ending in your dream, it means that, and I'm going to put it in quotation marks, like something new is going to start. There's going to be a new beginning in your life.
So like a reincarnation type
Kind
of
of. When I was younger, that's what I read. That when you die in a dream, or if someone dies in a dream, it means that, something new is going to happen for that person or for yourself or whatever.
Nice.
That still doesn't take away from the fact that it's bloody scary seeing someone die in a dream. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But that's what I have read, to know what a death dream means. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's because I don't think that dreams are actually predictions of the future. They're, as Armin said, they're part of your subconscious. They're something that you're thinking about. You know what I mean?
Do you remember your dreams? Because I don't remember any of my dreams.
Sometimes I've had some wild.
What's the wildest dream? Question for everyone. What's the wildest dream that you ever had?
So
Tell us, Don.
I've had really violent dreams. I had a dream that I was being attacked by my workmates, and they were all zombies, and
wow.
I was fighting them off, and all of a sudden one of them grabbed my shoulders from behind, and I threw my head back to like break their nose, and it's not a good technique, but that was my first reaction, to just like break their nose and throw my head back.
Wow.
I woke up, and my girlfriend at the time was trying to wake me up, and I had hit her with my head.
Oh wow.
I woke up midway, and I'm like, she's like, what the fuck? Why? What? If I have really violent dreams, I move in my sleep, and I have to be careful not to
Violent
punch
dreams.
or
You're
kick
scary.
whoever's sleeping next to me.
That's crazy.
You're like a sleep fighter. Sleep fighting.
A sleep fighter.
It's like swinging.
Round one.
No, but I remember.
That's so
I remember
bad.
being in this dream where there was I was walking through Rudy Hill or something, and there's a group of guys, and they wanted to roll me. I ended up fighting them, and then running, like trying to run away, and one of them pulled a gun and shot me in the calf muscle.
Jesus.
And I woke up, and my legs were cramping, and I'm like, ah! I just felt
Wow.
like I was
You felt the dream.
I actually felt like I got shot in the leg.
Damn.
Oh,
Damn, man. All right, stop telling dreams, man. Because you're just being selfish. We have a guest here. So Armin,
Had a dream about Armin on the podcast.
have you had a wild dream?
The ones that I remember were just violent ones as well. Like I'll be in a shopping center. This happens a lot. I don't know why.
He's always in
For
the
some
shopping
reason,
center.
I'm in a shopping center and it's closed, and then there's like guys wielding like machetes and machine guns, and I'm just running away from them. I don't know what that's
crazy.
supposed to mean, but those are the ones I remember, which I've had many of.
I think you have a problem. Maybe you're a shopaholic.
Mate,
Maybe
I
there's
do.
dreams trying to tell you to stop spending your money on all these fancy gears that you wear when you're DJing. Maybe it's an addiction.
Actually, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I just got in trouble with the missus.
interpreting your
It's like,
dreams.
you
with
keep
wrath
spending
flow.
so much money on like all these things. Like I just like spending.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and it's not a coincidence that you dreamt of a shop being closed, and then you're being chased by people machete. You know those people that have machetes and machine guns. That's your girlfriend.
I see.
Yeah,
I
it's
see.
like, stop
you
spending.
Know, you know what I reckon it is? It's the guilt. It's the guilt eating at your subconscious and
Yeah.
saying that
Yeah,
you
man.
know.
So maybe that day I splurged on something stupid,
Yeah.
new shoes or whatever,
It's your mind
purple
telling you.
shoes. Yeah. Yeah, no, that does make sense.
Yeah, man. Stop spending money and start spending more time with the girlfriend.
Well, if she stops
Let
like
her-
throwing
Valentine's
machetes
Day.
at me,
I reckon if you lose the guilt of shopping or like spending on things, then you won't dream about it anymore. Because I think it's the guilt at like you feel guilty about spending money on something.
like dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
Just because this has become like a therapy session.
Yeah. No.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. That'll be
How about you,
$500.
Nats? Have you
It's a
experienced
support
any
group.
wild dreams?
I've got a lot to
It's a
say about
support group.
dreams, but I'm going to try and condense it because I'll end up speaking for like 20, 30 minutes. But back to that point that Don mentioned about sort of like the start of something new. The other day, actually, my girlfriend had a death dream as well. So it's quite coincidental you brought this up. And her dream, she was stabbed like multiple times. Don't know by who. It was just, all she remembers is like, I just got stabbed. And it's about death, but she believes the same thing as I do. And what it sort of signifies, death in a dream, is what we believe is it means sort of like a death of an old version of yourself. So it's a rebirth. And when it happens, I don't know if it's the same for you guys because it doesn't sound like it. But how she explained it when it happened to her, even though the thought of death or when it happened, it's quite gruesome, it's quite frantic, and obviously you're probably anxious in your own dream. When you actually die, you have a feeling or sigh of relief after it. I personally can't remember when was my last death dream, so I think I haven't changed in a long time. But yeah, that's my take on that whole why death happened. Look, this is real though. I didn't make that up.
So you believe you
I believe that.
the,
I believe it is because
yeah,
it is in tarot card
signifies something
readings
new.
as well. I remember my mum. She had a business with tarot card reading or whatever, and she set me up with someone to read my fortune. And the moment like a death card came out, I was like, oh shit, I'm dead, I'm done. And then they're like, no, that's good, that's rebirth. I'm like, oh, okay. And then like another one came out with like happy flowers. I'm like, oh, happy flowers. Like, no, that means bad, that's bad fortune. I was like, oh.
That's like a Simpsons.
So I was like, what the fuck is it? It's all like reverse. And yeah, so I think it might be a universal thing, but I don't know if it might be common amongst religions or different people. I don't know. If anyone's listening, it'd be good to, is it just me or is that like a universal thing?
Yeah, I think it's universal.
I think it's a universal thing, but yeah.
Yeah, what's your wildest dream though?
My wildest dream when I was young, this is the only dream I vividly remember, but it was a reoccurring dream when I was young. And you guys can interpret what you think it means metaphorically. I still try to determine what it means to this day. I was probably in my like below 10, like 10 or 8, 9, 10 or whatever. I remember I'd be playing in a sand pit in the middle of just nothing. It's like probably a desert, but it didn't look like a desert. It's like one of those mirage looking places. You know what I mean? Like it's a bit, it looked pleasant, but I'm in the middle of the desert in a sand pit. My mum is sitting in a recliner chair reading a magazine, and then a sinkhole just starts to evolve around me. And then suddenly the sinkhole opens up, and I don't know how I'm still floating and not falling through, but I look under, and all I see is the flames of hell. And now at this rate, I'm panicking, and I'm looking at my mum, but she can't actually hear me. She continues to read the book, and then 2 green hands, like Hulk hands, come up to start to, like, I guess to grab me and pull me down, and like I'm yelling and like, mom, and right before like I get pulled down, that's when I'll wake up. And I remember having this dream multiple times, and I never knew what it meant. It wasn't death. I didn't die.
Have you guys seen Book of Mormon, the musical?
Yes.
I haven't, no.
So it's Book of Mormon. What happens is there's a joke that they have the spooky hill dream. So when they do something bad, in quotation marks, they then have the spooky hell dream. So they go to sleep and then they have this dream about hell. But because they feel guilty about whatever they did wrong. So say they lied about eating the last donut in the fridge. Then they go to sleep and they'll have the spooky hell dream. So maybe this is your spooky hell dream.
Yeah, that is probably my spooky. Because I am a very guilty person. I remember like small things I'd feel really bad about. And I still do. Strangely enough.
I'm just trying to figure out what the green hands mean. Does it mean envy, or does it mean money? Does it mean
sickness?
Maybe you're
sickness?
just maybe as a kid you
I don't
saw
know.
like the Incredible
Long time
Hulk
ago.
and you were like, holy shit, that's scary.
Maybe you were trying to get in the oven and it was burning, and then your mum was like, "Hey, Nathan," and her green mittens was trying to get you out. Maybe it was.
No,
like
she
a
fully
probably-
ignored me in the dream. She completely.
Ah.
I got pulled in, man.
Maybe you have mommy
Neglected.
issues.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
probably it. The whole thing is just. you
I
have
don't know. This is
mother
like the
issues.
one dream I can remember. But the funny thing is that you mentioned as well. You know, Armin, how you said like you can sometimes have dreams. Or was it Raf? I don't know. One of you guys said like you don't remember
glad you're
dreams.
listening.
But do you guys ever just throughout your day you remember something? It's like, wait, I dreamt about that like 2 days ago. But right after you dreamt it, when you woke up, you forget.
Yeah.
I think we actually dream every day. We just completely forget. But then something throughout our day will trigger a memory, and we'll be like, wait a minute, was that real or not? And then you remember, it's like, wait, no, I dreamt that. And it'll be a
Isn't it
very
like
vague
the-
memory of it.
Isn't it like deja vu or something like that? Is that
I
kind of
think
like
so.
the concept?
The feeling is the same. The concept is the same when you feel it, but then you know that, wait a minute, I just dreamt this, but you don't remember the dream immediately after waking up. And it could be something simple as like a task or being in a place. So sometimes what's strange enough, like I'll go to a place. This one's actually a bit freaky. Have you ever been to a place and then you think like, wait, I went here recently, and you think it's in your dream, but then you've never been there before? It's kind of like that kind of feeling.
Yeah, like.
Am I venturing too far? Am I going too far?
I
into the-
recognize that where things seem.
Do you know what I'm
very
talking about?
familiar, but you've never been in the place. Yeah.
You never
It's
been
like-
there, and then
probably-
it triggers, and you're like,
yeah.
I dreamt this. I was here in this
Have-
dream.
Have you guys ever visualized something? And I'm going to take it into a different direction. Like visualize something where, say, you're aspiring for something. Like say, I want to get this new job or whatever. You visualize it to the point where you see yourself in the job. You see yourself in the office. You see yourself with the team.
Oh, yeah, I do that
all
all
this
the
stuff, right? And then like you get there, and then you're like, this feels familiar because I've already been here so many times. Like say, you know,
I think it's a
you
similar
go
concept,
like
yeah.
Ahmed, you go and DJ at a new club.
Mhm.
You've never been there,
You're
but
there.
in your mind, you're like, oh, I know what it's gonna be like. It'll be like this. I'm gonna set up,
finally
and I'm
there.
gonna see this type of people, and blah 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 blah. And you get there, and you're like, this is familiar because I've been here before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like whenever I win like a trophy or something, and then I'm like, oh, this is nothing because I've been winning all this time, you know. In my mind. So it's the winner state of mind.
The mentality.
Winner mentality. That's what it is.
I like that.
We'll
Raph.
talk
That's
more
really
about
good.
dreams, but I want to have an episode where we can go full blown dream talk
Yeah, yeah.
because there's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
we can get into it.
It
but
is. It's a.
I
big
want to get
topic.
more into our dream DJ, our dreamy DJ,
Hey.
DJ Xcentrik, almond milk.
Yeah.
That was a bad joke. Sorry. So how long have you been DJing for?
I've been DJing. My first DJ gig ever was when I was 14.
14. So that's
14.
about.
I'm 32 now.
Wow.
So
Maths guy,
simple science.
simple science guy. How much?
Advanced.
Advanced math, that shit.
Oh,
wait,
man.
30
So
yeah,
that's
I've
been
I've
about like
DJing since I was 14.
14. So that's like. I'm trying to figure out.
18
17 years.
18
18 years.
18
Over
years.
15 years.
I don't want
guys.
to mess it up, but yeah. So I was doing like house parties all throughout high school, and I was actually late to the club scene. I got into the clubs when I was like 21, 22.
21.
Wow, that's
Yeah, not
late.
like fresh
Damn,
18
son.
and boom in the clubs. So yeah,
So you've been starting off with like house parties and then moved on to clubs straight away, or did you do like other gigs in between?
Yeah, I heard a
Uh,
story because I think you did a podcast interview with another person, another friend of ours.
yes.
Shout outs to Kwa. Yeah, you
up?
told
Nah,
your
we're the
story
we're the only podcast in the game.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is my first podcast. ever.
yeah, you told your story about how you got started in DJing.
Yeah.
you.
Well, yeah, I did tell the story with Carl. I could share it with you guys.
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
pretty much. So throughout high school, the earlier days, I was like the guy with the Discman, you know, just getting confiscated, burning CDs for everyone.
Were you the guy with the new
You like
music?
that.
Yeah, so everyone. I actually made money, like some serious lunch money, burning CDs for
Oh,
people.
I did too.
Oh shit.
I mean,
That
no, we
trade,
didn't.
bro.
I mean, of original music of Don Valix.
Oh, yeah.
Disclaimer.
Yeah. Of course. Me too.
Yeah, so one time, one of my classmates is like, Armin, can you DJ my party?
You were
Like-
14 at the time?
Yeah, her 14th birthday.
Holy
Like,
So
shit.
this would be
I don't-
like year 9, year 10. I mean year
Hey, can I-
9, year 8.
Can I ask,
you
was
know,
this
yeah.
vinyl days or was Serato out already?
Serato wasn't out. I actually
So
DJ'd this
Proper
off,
DJing, yeah? Real DJing.
Your Discman?
2 home theater system CD players.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Really?
That's
Can I
crazy.
cut you
That's
in there?
dope.
Like
That is
I
so
remember
cool.
this is not you, but I remember like we had a house party, like not me, but like one of the girls in school had a house party, and then she was like overselling the DJ. It's like there's gonna be a DJ. It's like there's gonna be a friggin' DJ there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fucking awesome. I went there. It's her uncle, with 2 stereo systems, and fading in from one track.
Yeah.
And while fading out from one track was fading in on another track.
Oh,
And that's what
gee.
he did all night. Kept changing CDs.
Is that
And just fading in and out, even though the beats weren't
it's
matching.
Tito, bro. It's,
Yeah.
it's Tito.
Wow.
DJ Tito?
Yeah, and I was actually a little bit ahead because my dad was actually into like all music, and my
that's where it
dad and
stems
his
from.
dad were actually DJs in their town back in their day.
So you're on- so it's just in the blood.
Cool
It's
Herc-
part
Cool
of the
Herc was, actually-
memory,
So,
legacy.
Yeah, although we didn't have speakers and CD players, I did have a microphone mixer. So we put the RCAs into channels, so I had a proper crossfader, so I
Yeah.
could mix songs. So I was just playing
That's
like
so
mixtapes
crazy.
all night. But everyone loved it. And then that night they're like, "Hey, my
Did you-
party's
was it
next
paid?
week."
Was it paid?
That
gig?
wasn't paid.
Ah, okay.
It was just I was just doing
Gotta
it for
start
fun.
somewhere, Don.
he was
You gotta
getting
start
his,
somewhere.
his stream of income was coming in from the burnt CDs, man. So he
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
free to, I'm okay to do this for free.
Yeah, so just naturally they're like, "Yeah, can you DJ my party?" There was a house party in the rumpus room, and yeah, everyone had fun. I got another
That's so
gig
cool.
from that,
Yeah.
That's it. The word of mouth just bounces
Yeah,
from
it's
one
just like
person to
that.
another.
and then
That's
that
insane.
gig they were like, "How much do you want?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm getting paid. I don't know. Like it's up to you." Whatever.
I'll be real. Be real, like let's be
That's insane.
super transparent.
Yeah.
How much did you get paid on your first gig?
Your first paycheck.
On that gig, my first paycheck was 150,
154.
Dude, that's more than I've made
night.
in rap
For the whole
ever.
night.
One party, right? Yeah.
and this is me in year 8.
That's a lot of
That's-
money.
I was
for
like,
a year,
dude, like that's a lot of meat pies at the canteen.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, what am I
I might actually get the meat pie with
With
tomato sauce.
I'm
I
balling
might
now.
actually get some tomato sauce now this time.
and the pizza rounder.
No, that's it.
Oh man.
I'm living it up.
That's actually
Legend.
really good.
But
No,
like,
I
how
guess
did
that's
you
where
feel?
get your hustler's mentality, eh?
Yeah, that you seem
think
to be
so.
like a hustler from the start because
Like
of the
you've had it from
CDs,
the
burnt
start.
CDs.
It's been ingrained in you from early age.
Yeah, just hustling, making that dollar.
Yeah, do you reckon
Yeah.
you got that from your parents? Were they hustlers like that, or because they're DJs? I was assuming they were.
Are we,
Not really.
is
Not
is the
really.
word hustler or is it entrepreneur? Because I think
Ooh,
entrepreneur
entrepreneur.
is the word
Hustler's
now.
the hip hop version of that. Hip hop version. And we are a hip hop podcast.
I
So
don't like that
that's,
term, entrepreneur. Or how people
yeah, it's too
name
it's too-
themselves.
It's too normal.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Well, okay, business.
work hard, man.
It seemed like you were business minded. We'll put it
He's
in
business
quotation mark.
minded. Yeah.
Whatever,
Let's say
whatever the term was, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
'cause
I get you.
hustler,
We know,
entrepreneur,
yeah.
business minded. I think we're on the same track.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone's got
The same
different-
concept.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I know. I've never liked to call myself an entrepreneur. I'm just
it's
doing
got
business.
some weird,
But you are, bro.
weird connotation.
Come on.
I want to get into your first DJ gig in a club
Mhm.
because that's really a big step from house party.
It is.
How did
And
you
then
book
into
your
a
first
club.
gig at a club?
It was actually through mutual friends. So a lot of my business DJing
Yeah.
has been through word of mouth, through mutual friends,
Yeah.
referrals, and whatnot. And up till now, running my company, I'd say 90%, 95% is all word of mouth referrals.
That's
so I don't
crazy.
openly advertise, and it's just, hey, my friend referred me to hit you up to DJ my wedding
Yeah.
or my
Yeah.
birthday,
Yeah.
and it's all been like that.
Nice.
Wait, what's
What's
the
your
question
company?
again?
What's your company?
That's the way to do
EV Entertainment.
it. EV
Yeah, so
Entertainment.
Yeah.
just
I've used
just
you
plug
guys
yourself
too,
right
man.
now. Plug yourself
Yeah.
right now on the podcast.
Oh yeah, well EV Entertainment. You can follow us on IG,
Facebook.
Facebook. Pretty much we are an events and production agency servicing the
Yeah.
whole east coast of Australia. So Brisbane, Sydney,
Nice.
Melbourne. Obviously, we're based in Sydney.
That's
And
heaps
we're
dope.
doing a lot of
So you do
So
like anything that's media
Does
related?
everything.
Like
You do everything.
'Cause I know
We
you
do
do
a lot.
you do photos, I know that, and then you do videography as well,
yes.
and then you also do the DJing. So is there anything else that I'm missing, or
Web
Um,
development. Isn't websites as well?
Yeah, that's like on
Did
the
you say
low-key.
that? I
Nah,
missed
that's quiet.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Sorry, shit.
He doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to do web development.
I don't want to do it.
No, I will not
Hey,
build your
Ahmed,
website
but
for
Ahmed,
you,
what-
Nathan.
But what about my website, bro? I don't think
I don't
I've
know what
paid
you're
you yet,
talking about.
by the way. I gotta pay you.
Bruh.
Anyway, keep going.
Dude,
Dig up, Nats. Dig up.
Out of those three, is there anything else besides them, or is that the trifecta?
that's like the trifecta. So we're just really focusing on growing EV.
What does
Like
EV stand for?
nothing really. Hey, it's actually a play on words. Event entertainment.
Oh,
EV entertainment.
Okay.
I think you should
What?
get this.
What?
You know, that
Yeah,
joke.
yeah,
yeah.
Event
I
entertainment.
thought it meant something like like every day.
I get it.
every
get
day.
Eventertainment.
Vikings.
Entertainment.
Yeah. Well, pretty much because I was operating as DJ Xcentrik this whole
I
time.
get you.
I just wanted to.
That's just got it. Jeez.
I just got it, man. I was like, event.
3 hours later, that's
Event.
no. I just wanted to take my face and name away from the company because DJ Xcentrik was doing well, but
Separate
I'll get
entities,
3
mate.
bookings in one night that I can't do, and I'm like, dude, I've got like a good group of guys that can like really rock a party, so we'll provide that same level of customer service and professionalism, and offer that service to everyone
EV
else.
entertainment.
So
Yeah,
wait,
like
so EVs,
shout out to
it's
you
a group.
guys.
There's more of you.
How many of you guys?
I've got a rotation of about, not a rotation, like a roster of about, say, 4 or 5 DJs. I've got about
Damn.
3. I've got 3 photo booths, and then I've got all the photo booth staff as
Are
well.
you the godfather of the DJs?
You're a boss, man.
You're the
boss.
PIMP of those DJs.
Pretty much. I just send them here and there, and like, yeah.
He's a boss.
But,
Yeah, you're basically acting as the agent for the DJs and for the photo booths, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
like an
'Cause
agent. That's why we're like an event
Agency.
entertainment agency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
When it comes to
EV
club,
entertainment.
EV
Event
entertainment.
entertainment.
When it comes to he's full into it. When you get into
Glad you're all caught up then, Nats.
the clubbing scene, what's been the difference? The big thing that you notice between house parties and then going into the clubbing scene for the first time? Like, what's the big difference that you notice?
Well, the big difference for me is that at a house party, you're DJing for 5-6 hours. You provide all the equipment, you set up all the speakers, lighting, done, you
Yeah.
know, right? All this stuff too. Whereas at a
This was
club,
crate days as well.
yeah,
Yeah, so like you had to
Oh,
carry
man.
all your stuff. Now
Yeah,
everything's just on
so-
a hard drive.
There's
That's
no
it.
security there either.
yeah, man. Like I've DJed a few parties like early high school days when we DJed some rough crowds. Like they would end up with like cop cars outside, people getting arrested, fights.
Yeah, no regulation. Yep.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But
That's
when you're in the
crazy.
club, it's a bit safer. But you're only DJing for 1 hour, 2 hours, or whatnot.
How many
Oh.
hours are you DJing tonight, though?
4 hours. at the
4
Carter.
hours.
Yeah, 10 to 12
plug
upstairs.
Plug it.
Are you you're gonna be real. Like, are you gonna do any replays of songs, or are you gonna? Do you have a set that goes for 4 hours that has different songs throughout the whole thing?
I don't like to play repeats. I'm actually playing 2 hours downstairs and then 2 hours upstairs.
Oh.
So
Ah,
it's
nice.
2 different vibes. Nats,
Shouts to the Carter.
you'd be very familiar with this.
Yeah. Too familiar.
Eye rolling.
Too familiar. Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, you had your like farewell there for like every Friday for 3 months.
Dude, I
or-
was there pretty much every week from the last months of Sydney, and I was like,
Oh, man.
you know what, honestly, but like, probably not my scene anymore, but it was always nice to bump into you, man. But the funny thing is what Raf mentioned, like, this is the first time we've talked with you not in front of turntables.
Yeah,
It's through a Skype conversation.
it's hard. Like people want to catch
It's hard
up
to
while I'm
talk.
DJing.
Yeah,
and
it's hard.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
And I'm
the music's
usually
too loud.
drunk as hell. I'm just usually like, oh man, yeah, play my song, bro. And then
Yeah, I want
True
to get
story.
into that. Like, what is the do's and don'ts? What is the pet peeves of
Yeah,
a
what's the
DJ?
do's and don'ts?
Do you like people giving you requests for songs?
I like it when they give requests when it's in line with what you're playing. Example: don't ask for Celine Dion while we're playing.
No, that wouldn't make
or
sense.
Bieber?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Makes sense.
if you're at a hip hop club, don't ask us to play hardstyle or
Yeah.
Oh, why
or something. This guy.
Why not, bro?
This guy does
Why not,
push-ups in the
bro?
club.
Just want to rave out.
Or you get the guys who like want to be the popular guy in the group, like, oh yeah, I'll ask the DJ to play this song, and they're like, play it now, play it now, play it now, play it now.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
come on,
yeah.
the DJ's
I wanna be
got
cool.
like
I want to be
Yeah.
their flow.
Yeah.
You can't just expect them to drop everything and then play your track. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you
The
have any
DJ's job-
considerate requesters, like people who be like requesting songs at the same BPM as the song that you're playing at the current moment?
Yeah.
preferably that's what we would want, right?
Yeah, it's like someone
does
be like,
happen.
"Oh, can you play this song? But since you're playing this song, can you transition it to this song?"
Have you ever had someone be like, "Hey, so Pony is I think 65 BPM."
But I think
65 is
70
really slow, isn't it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. But then like, then can you play like this track, which is maybe 130 BPM?
all the
Can you
time.
mix it in?
All the time.
Someone actually says that to you?
All the time, yeah.
Yeah. Can't you just fade it out and get your MC to shout out the bar and then just fade in with our track?
Yeah. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. Like, as a DJ, the job is to like keep everyone on the dance floor and just take them on a ride, not just play this and that. Like, there'll be no flow if you're like gonna play Pony and then Black Eyed Peas. Like, am I jumping or am I gonna grind with this pretty girl? That's
yeah, and
not
you
gonna
go
go
by
home with
how
me.
the crowd is reacting to your songs, right? Like, if the crowd is pretty dead, you'll dead that track straight away and
Of
fade
course.
it into something else. Then.
Yeah, it's I think it's an art form, just reading the crowd and just seeing what they're vibing to, what they're enjoying. Then I'll play around this kind of genre, this kind of sound.
What has been the toughest crowd that you ever DJ'd for? Like, they just wouldn't dance. Like, no matter the jam, they're like, no one's going on the dance floor.
There have been a few weddings that have been difficult, but I think it was because they were like a very conservative Asian crowd where they just don't get down. They are very formal. Like, I think they would have been fine listening to violins all night, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they hired me for the dance floor, so I did play their requests, but yeah, it just didn't happen. So when there's a very broad range of audience or crowd, I think it's really difficult. And
because you're trying to capture everyone's likes.
So this song might get those 5 people, but then it might not work for the other 100 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
vice
you just
versa.
it's really reading the crowd. So you must be really good at reading club crowds,
Yeah.
or like how people react to music, and like how do you get yourself prepared to drop a new song? Because like you don't know how people are going to react to it. Do you research how popular it is, or like if it's popping, or do you have this sort of ears like, oh, if they like this song, they're gonna like this song?
Yeah, I think it's more like that. So you kind of warm them up to, this kind of sound, and then like playing a Tiger track, for example, and then you play Tiger's new track, and then they're
Which
like,
is pretty much the same. You can just blend it all in.
yeah, it just sounds the same with just different lyrics, right?
It's all DJ mustard.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I think as a DJ, it's our job as well to educate the crowds to play the new stuff. So even if they don't know it, at least like get it into their heads and like, oh, I like this song,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever played like an old jam that's been working for a long time, but the crowd has become younger and younger that they don't know the jam? Say like The Return of the Mac by Mark Morrison or something like that. They're like, did you drop a track like that? And then they're like, the crowd just doesn't react.
There's always reactions to the old school. You'd be surprised how much like the fresh 18-year-olds like the old 90s.
It depends on the time too, right? Usually what I've noticed is with DJs, is this a universal DJ thing? But when Mysterious Girl comes on, does that mean it's about to shut down? Like it's game time? Is that a DJ thing? Because that's what I noticed.
Usually they play like the old school, the really, really old school
At the end,
stuff
right?
Yeah.
At the end.
It's not an international thing. It's just like a wind down kind of song. Like,
Yeah, it
Red
really
Red
is.
Wine is another
Oh yeah,
popular.
That always
it's like,
plays that. That's like the last song at every single wedding.
yeah, and that's when you think like, oh, the lights are gonna turn on soon.
No, but then you get everyone's like down with it. I'm like down with that music. Like,
Yeah.
that's my jam for sure.
Yeah.
But like in terms of what else is the things that you as a DJ have a pet peeve for? Do you like people putting bags behind your DJ desk?
That doesn't bother me at all. It's just
you're like the most chilled ass
I reckon-
DJ ever.
I think I'm pretty chilled, yeah.
Yeah.
But when they have requests and then they're just pestering like, hey, play this, play that, play this, play that, play this now. Like,
That's annoying.
Yeah, that
And
sounds
they're drunk
annoying,
as
yeah.
well.
yeah, like
Yeah,
that
that'd be
Nathan guy. Oh man, lucky he's left in London.
How about birthday shout
yo,
So because
you
you
always play
don't
my
you don't
songs.
MC at the same time, eh?
No,
He's
so
like,
there's a
the
dedicated
MC would
MC.
usually get the birthday shout outs and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind. Like, as long as everyone's enjoying, everyone's drinking and, having fun. We just want to create a fun vibe for everyone.
How about those guys that
Who's your
just dance on podiums and stuff?
Inspirations, bro.
Yeah, who's your DJ
That's a good question. Yeah.
Inspiration,
DJ
like
inspiration?
local and maybe someone mainstream as well, like that we all know.
Well, I'm pretty
What was
privileged.
your-
Like, I looked up to the local guys like DJ Motto and Peter Guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to be the OGs of this
They started
DJ scene in Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man,
like the
Club Join
pioneers.
2.0.
All star DJs, club
Still
joint
my
all stars,
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like tonight, I'm DJing after Motto. Like,
Nice.
yeah, not nervous at all.
Just to be on the same name, like on the same lineup of those guys. it's
Idols
pretty dope,
become
man.
rivals, man.
We've come a long way.
It's crazy, man.
Are you
So-
competitive as a DJ? It's like, oh, you walk in and then you hear them playing a particular song and the crowd's getting mad hype. Do you be like, oh, should I just bring out the big guns and
Yeah.
drop my biggest set just to, beat that
Nah,
crowd?
fuck that guy. No, like
It's competitive. It's
we all have this
competitive.
mutual understanding as
Friendly-
DJs, and like
friendly
we're kind of close knit. All the DJs in
Yeah.
Sydney, like in our circle, the Asian DJs would say. Like we're
So
all
you're
friends.
all
we all
friends.
know
There's no
each other.
beef. There's no beef.
Yeah,
But,
we're
is
all
it,
cool.
but if
and
there
like
was beef, who would it be?
DJ Khaled, no,
I remember.
that's another one.
even a DJ.
I remember a friend of mine used to DJ, and I go with him, and
got with
he
him?
would. Huh?
You got with him?
I'd go with him to the club. I go with him. No, and
scandal.
What a DJ
a lot of the things
groupie.
that I observed that DJs do was if there was a brand new song, that if you were playing, before someone, they'd be like, "Hey, it's kind of that etiquette where you don't play the new song straight away,
Yes.
or if someone's played it in a
Okay.
previous set, then they'll tell you, oh, "I've played this, this, and this." Does that still happen in the clubs?
Yeah, definitely, because it's really important to have that happen,
DJ
especially when you want to make the night last longer.
Yeah.
So, because for example, if you bang out all the hits at the start, and everyone's heard the hits that they want to hear, they're gonna leave
one
earlier.
wants to hear it
Whereas
again.
you build it up
Yeah.
slowly, then at the peak of the night you'll play, then you wind it
Okay.
down again.
So
It
how
makes
does that
the night last
process
longer.
happen? Do you talk to the DJs beforehand? Like you see the lineup, you're like, "Hey guys," or does it naturally happen? You
Is that
guys all have
unspoken, or
that
how do you go about it?
Yeah, it's like an unspoken etiquette. So everyone knows, like, if you're
Okay.
playing at this time,
You should
Yeah.
play these type of tracks.
exactly, yeah.
Fair.
You're not
That's
gonna play the
independent.
newest shit at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Or
9
yeah,
PM.
or PM.
I already know what kind of DJ I'd be. I'd be that dickhead that plays everything at the start. I want to go first.
You wouldn't get booked anymore,
I don't
bro.
They play everything. Well, that's what happens.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be a
The thing
DJ.
with you is that you have this longevity as a DJ. You've been doing it for like 18 years. That's like,
Mm.
you need to be 18 to get in the club.
Some people
So
are
you've
alive that long.
You've been,
Just getting
yeah,
into the
exactly.
club.
So
You can be like, is your first day clubbing? I was DJing when you was born.
yeah,
When you was
exactly.
born.
So what's your
You know what I mean?
what's your secret? As in, like, how did you become this DJ that has lasted that long? Outlived.
Yeah.
Outlived. Remained relevant.
Yeah.
Killing it.
It's the height. You do stand out a bit in the crowd. Well, like I mentioned before, it's reading the crowd is really important, and being
Yeah.
versatile to be able to play to all different crowds.
Mm.
If you can't keep a crowd on the dance floor, or keep that dance floor full, you're not going to get booked again. You're going to kill the club
That's
early. They're going to close early.
You gotta have to adapt to the sound as well. Like the hip hop sound keeps changing.
Yeah, you've
Like
got to stay
now,
on top
you
of
know,
it.
you went from you were there from the old school days to the crunk days to the reggaeton days
Mhm.
to the
trap
trap days, and now the dubstep days, or like now it's I don't know what it is now, and you just seem to have adapted ever since then. Or do you keep going to the clubs that play your sound? Because like there's some clubs that are just niche into the old school sound and niche to this sound. Or do you what's your thoughts on that?
Well, for the Carter, they do like to call it Hip Hop Fridays, and it's predominantly old school, but like as the night progresses, we do play newer stuff. So we've always got to stay on
That's
top
cool.
of having the newer stuff and educating the crowds playing the newer stuff as well. So
I just
Yeah,
want to
that's
ask,
cool.
like, what song that's popping is the song that you played so much times that you're just sick of it? You refuse to play it, but you have to.
that's a good question.
Any Pitbull song.
Can we go around the room actually? If all of us have like that one song that we get lit to.
Yeah.
Armin, go first.
Oh,
Armin, go
I
first.
need some
What's
time
your
to think.
song? No, like that's the exact same question. But
This is exactly just the cheat.
what's your you push the button and you know like they gonna love this shit.
Oh.
So yeah,
you
that's
put
two
them on the
questions. So
spot,
that the first question is, what song are you sick
that's-
of, and what's your go-to song? That you
Oh
know,
my bad.
never
yeah,
fails.
It's a different question. I thought it was the same.
Wow. I don't know. There's actually a lot. Depending on the crowd. So,
All right, what's your
Yeah.
go-to song?
Is it Fat Man Scoop Crooklyn Clan?
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
that's my
that
jam.
song's always going on.
I love that song. Every time it jumps on, I was like, yeah.
it's my
I don't got a
jam.
$20 bill, but I'm gonna put my hand up.
Ooh, it's all the crowd. It's all the crowd. Let's play. This is how we do it.
Yeah, that always gets
Yeah.
around. But
That's a good track.
yeah, I don't know. Hey, like, I like surprising the crowd too, like with forgotten old jams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good reaction when you can get the crowd be like, oh, this track. I remember this track.
exactly. That's the feeling. Like,
that is good.
and when everyone's
That's a
like,
good
you play a throwback,
some
they're like, oh, I
typical
remember
shit.
this song. I was in year one still, and when this song came out,
Yeah.
because everyone's bloody.
You know, funny
18 now.
thing. That's how some people determine a good DJ as well. Like when you
Mm.
pick out those gems, and they're like, that's what makes you stand out as a DJ as well. Because sometimes you'll hear a DJ, they play the same typical safe sets, which if
Yep.
you can call it that,
Yes.
and it kind of they're kind of forgettable. But the DJs I do remember, I'm not gonna bother name dropping, but like you're one of them. But you know, you'll
Not gonna name drop,
something,
but
it's
you're
like,
one of
"Fuck."
them.
And you feel cool. You feel connected to that DJ. It's like I feel a connection with him because they dropped a song that I like and not many others liked it. But there's a niche that likes it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, I think that's what sets you
cool.
apart from the other DJs, where you just don't play the safe sets every time, because anyone can play a safe set.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like up to the DJ's music collection as well.
Mm.
Their reach.
How's your transition from vinyl to Serato? Like analog to digital.
Because I actually started on CDs, burnt CDs. So
Okay.
I had a 200 CD wallet.
Crazy.
And, oh man. I had a few vinyls, but they just stayed at home. But transitioning, I actually transitioned to Serato when I got into the clubs, because I was shy to bring CDs to the club.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of
fair
a
enough.
stigma with like people using CD DJ like turntables and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of DJs were using Serato, so you just have to bring your controller vinyls and then your laptop. That was it, right?
There is a bit of stigma, like technology.
Mm.
It's like, oh yeah, keep it old school, vinyl all day.
Mm.
But you got to use technology to help you, right? It's there to be used.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
It seems
Yeah,
like you're
that's the
more
way
of
the
an
world's going.
adaptable guy.
Yeah.
Like you've adapted to the music sound and now technology. It seems to me like it's all making it easier for you now. Like it's like I remember when I think it was DJ Flag LT. She was on doing her set before her set, and then she was unloading her truck, and Lukman was helping her out. And then she had all these crates.
Yeah.
And it felt like she was moving into a new place. It was crazy. I was like,
I
oh
remember those
shit.
days.
Like you need
That's
to bring your
crazy.
own caddy, like to carry your freaking vinyls and stuff. It's
do need
crazy,
help, man. They
And
were
now
so
all
heavy.
you need is just your hard drive or your computer.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier. So
That's it. Just a backpack and you're
awesome.
good.
does that
That's
did
what
that make
technology's there for.
has that made a more saturated environment in terms of DJs that just popped out of nowhere? It has how like the internet has made more internet rappers and now it's been saturated.
Yeah.
Like is that the
of
same
course,
with
yeah,
DJs?
definitely.
Oh, definitely. So there's, with the digital era, anyone with MP3s downloaded off LimeWire or
Mm.
Kazaa or Napster, they could just be DJs. They just get the software and they're a DJ all of a sudden.
Mm.
Yeah.
But the thing they don't have is the experience, like how to play to
Yeah.
a crowd. Yeah.
That's
So
right.
I think that's what
Play to
sets
the
us
crowd.
apart.
I think that's what makes you a bit more unique and stand out because you play to the crowd, while others just play a set, not even look up once, and they just keep playing.
They play
Like,
for
you get a lot of
themselves.
that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's